be in organizing with each and every one of you. Let's hear it again. And let's do a union check real quick. 11.99. Are you out here in the building? Teamsters, you out here, Teamsters? UAW, let's hear for UAW. Nurses, we got our nurses union out here. AFSCME, where you at, AFSCME? DC 37, you in the building? Thank you all so much, and it's the Bronx in the building tonight. And for those of you who come from all the way outside of this borough, I want to thank you for coming and joining us. Brooklyn, trying to do a borough check. Queens, are you in the building? We got Manhattan, you in the building? Staten Island, anybody from Staten Island? Is always what happens. We got Westchester, anybody from Westchester out here? That's what I'm talking about. Are we ready to take on APAC? Are we ready to kick some Wall Street ass? Good. Because we are tired of having corporate lobbies trying to buy up our communities and sell them to the highest bidder. We're not doing that anymore. We all know why we're here. We all know what the stakes are here. We have enormous outside influence. They're trying to buy our representation because they don't like who we chose to represent us. But we know that the person that is best suited to represent New York 16th District is Jamal Bowman. It is Jamal Bowman. Now I want to talk brass tacks with y'all. Because it's not just Jamal Bowman. We've got folks all the way up and down the ballot. I would be remiss, and my team would be remiss if I didn't say we also have a primary out here in New York 14 too. Ironically enough, our challenger, my challenger, is also a former Wall Street banker from Jamal's district. He's from Dobbs Ferry. He couldn't even tell you what trains run through New York 14. Now, I want to talk to you about what's going on here. Because our brother, Jamal Bowman, is under attack. And I want to tell you why he's under attack. We got his back! We do have his back, don't we? He is under absolute attack, not just from these big lobbies, and not just from big money, but from the underlying forces that have been trying to decimate our community for decades. For decades. He is being primaried by racism. He is being primaried by greed. He is being primaried by corruption of our politics. And we cannot let them win. This place and this park is of profound importance. It is a lot of personal importance, not just to me, but to this borough. And I want to explain that to everyone here today. I want everybody to take a look around this community. Take a look at these buildings and what we see around here in St. Mary's Park. And I want to talk about why that's important. My dad grew up just a couple blocks away from this very park. He grew up when the Bronx was burning. And it's important for everyone here to know what that means, that the Bronx was burning. Because 50 years ago, as many of our families played on these blocks, these buildings around us were collapsing. They were set ablaze, and they were collapsing into rubble. And that catastrophe was brought on by decisions made at the highest levels of power to decimate our community. As Black and Puerto Rican and immigrant families moved in here to start a life, Robert Moses constructed the Cross Bronx Expressway. And it was designed as a gash to decimate and disconnect this community from itself, our community from ourselves. And as diverse communities move in, whiter and more affluent communities fled. And landlords all around this very park started setting fire to their own buildings, often with families inside. This is where we come from. This is our history. And our borough burned. Our borough burned. It burned by the matches set by racism, by greed, and corruption of our politics. And while the Bronx may have burned then, in the 50 years since, we have been steadily grinding and building our borough back, brick by brick, in the name of justice, in the name of equity, in the name of community, in the vision that we believe is best for our future. NYCHA tenants, union leaders, mothers of the incarcerated, environmental justice organizers, the NAACP, our churches, black associations, and brick by brick, they built Banana Kelly, they built Mitchell-Lama, they built Barreto Point Park, they built Casita Maria for us, by us. Ask anyone in New York City, ask anyone in New York City, the Bronx is built different. We are built different. There's a reason why 8 years ago, when the first major Jewish candidate for president, a democratic socialist no less, when he came to New York, in a historic stop, he came to this park. In this place, there is a reason. I was in that park. I was in that crowd on that day. And there is a reason why 2 years later, after that rally, the youngest woman in American history was elected to Congress. And there is a reason why she was a Puerto Rican waitress from the Bronx. There is a reason that this borough sent me to Congress. There's a reason why this borough sent Jamal Bowman to Congress. There is a reason why they sent him a school principal. That's right, Bowman, Bowman, Bowman. There is a reason why this borough, sent a school principal, the son of a single mother who grew up in public housing, who later founded one of the most recognized middle schools in the South Bronx from the South Bronx. There's a reason why this borough sent Jamal Bowman to Congress. And there's a reason why we will defend him on Tuesday. Because we are built different. We know what it means to go toe to toe and stare down a barrel of big money.
That's right.
We know what it means to face long odds, because all our odds are always long odds, and that has never stopped us. It never will stop us. We know political intimidation. We know hardship. We know all of the reasons why we should not succeed, and yet we do anyway. Jamal himself was a teacher in the South Bronx, and he is under attack by the same forces that I mentioned earlier that ripped our borough apart: racism, greed, and political corruption. And why is our political establishment doing that? Because Jamal Bowman dared to speak up for Palestinians. Because he dared to join us and become one of the first members of Congress to call for a ceasefire in Gaza. The establishment is primarying Jamal Bowman because to this day, he has refused to take a dime from corporate lobbies and big money. Not Wall Street, not big real estate, not AIPAC, not anybody. They want him out because he's not bought. He's not owned by anybody. Because he knows that his primary fidelity and duty is to our community, our people, our towns, to White Plains, to New Rochelle, to Yonkers, to Rye, to Tuckahoe, to Co-op City. He knows those are the people that we must center at all and any cost, because Jamal Bowman is for the children. And because Jamal doesn't take any big money, because he stands up for the people and for whom nobody stands up for, because he does that, they want to punish him for it dearly. Thus far, AIPAC and special interests have poured nearly $20 million to defeat our brother Jamal. Now, I want to put that into perspective for you. That is the most amount of money and dark money poured into a primary election in American history. $20 million is how much it would cost for an entire statewide gubernatorial state in one of the most expensive states in the United States of America. And they're pouring all of that money into our neighborhoods alone. Into our neighborhoods alone. Because powerful people, and these are powerful people, and it is important to reiterate that they don't give a damn about us. These Wall Street people don't give a damn about us. AIPAC doesn't give a damn about us. AIPAC doesn't give a damn about the Bronx. They don't give a damn about Westchester. Wall Street and big real estate companies don't care if we can afford a home. They care if they can uproot and uphold the people who prevent and uphold that system that keeps us from affording a home in the first place. That's how much, and that's why they're doing what they do. But you know what they're about to find out? That we are built different. That we know the score. That we see what they're up to. Because it is not lost on us that the one representative out of 435 that these big money interests pick who they want to make an example of is a black man. The son of a single mother raised in public housing and later founded one of those most recognized public schools in all of New York City from right here in the South Bronx. It is not lost us. We see the racism at play. It is not lost on us that the one representative they picked for their biggest and most outsized assault is only one of a handful, including those on this stage who don't take a dime from special interests or lobbyists. We see the greed. And it is also not lost on us that the historic amounts of money being spent to defeat him are linked back to billionaires and Republicans who prop up Donald Trump and all of his thugs. We see the corruption. It is clear as day. But we know better. We know that this is a street fight. And that's what it's going to come down to. Don't pay attention to the airwaves. Don't pay attention to those glossy Victoria's Secret magazines they be sending to everybody's mailbox all the time with their opponent on it. Don't listen to all of those things. What we need to focus on in the next 5 days is turning out as many people as we can in avalanche at the polls. And when we do that, we will send a message that an absolute and totally violent, unrestrained assault, it will not be sustained by everyday people and American voters. We connect the dots. We know that what's happening out there is connected to why our schools aren't funded here. We know that the absolute leveling of Gaza is being paid for with the funds that are being kept from our health care, our schools. And we cannot support that anymore. We can't. It's not extreme. It's not fringe. It's not bigoted to want everybody to be protected. It's not. It's not. But in order to do that, we have to stay focused. And so I want each and every one of you, it's so important. This is where it matters. This is where it's not just about coming to a rally and getting ramped up and going back home. We all need everybody. If you know anyone who lives in this district in New York 16, or 14 for that matter, us back here at home, I need you to text, to call, to post, to message everyone and anyone that you know that lives in White Plains, that lives in New Rochelle, that lives in Yonkers, that lives in Mamaroneck, in Rye, in Tuckahoe. Please send them a personal message, because the most convincing thing that a person can hear and receive is a message from a friend. Don't hope. Don't just think that a volunteer is going to take care of it. We need you to volunteer and take care of it. We have to have his back. We have to have have his back. We have to let them know that we're not going anywhere. And no matter what, we will never go anywhere. That's the message that we have to send. We are here for keeps. We know how serious this is. This is not a game, and they will not make us go away, ever. Because hope for change in this country has never been sustained by the people who just look at the odds and make a prediction. It's always been sustained by the people who believe in that better world, are committed to that better world, and do everything they can to make it happen, no matter what. The one that we're all here to defend. Whose back that we have. I want to hear you cheer loud. I want to hear it be deafening. Jamal Bowman.
Trust the trouble, get those shit. I'm sorry for this shit.